welcome back to the Power Public YouTube channel. We've been having some technical issues here on and off the track. If you've been following along here at the KZ Build Up project, we went out to Ipswich to run this card in and we had a little bit of a failure. You can click the link here to watch that video. So in this next series we're going to be showing you how to pull the engine apart. We're going to be doing a top end rebuild and we're going to be diagnosing our clutch problem or gearbox problem. I'm not sure which it is yet. And we're going to be running you through all those things. So let's get to it. Okay, so first up we're going to remove the exhaust. Just take the exhaust springs off with your spring puller. If you haven't got one, use a set of pointy nose pliers. And that just slips straight off. This here is a breather and we're just going to cut that cable tie off. It's just cable tied onto our waterways. So the next step is to remove the airbox, which is nice and simple. It's just that O-ring and then this hose clamp. We use a flat blade or a Phillips. Unscrew that, put it in the seat, and we're done. I'm going to leave the carburetor on the engine and I'm going to remove all the fuel lines. So we're just going to remove these ones here. This is the fuel return line. And then this is the fuel inlet to the pump. So there's going to be a bit of leakage here. So I have something to catch the fuel as it leaks out of the fuel pump. So we're going to cut this cable tie off too and remove the carburetor slide from the carburetor and just zip tie this up out of the way here to the clutch lip. Now you want to be careful of these needles because they bend easy, so you don't want to drop that on the ground or anything like that, otherwise you'll bend it and that will give you all sorts of dramas. So yeah, just be a little bit careful with them. Zip ties are your best friend. Just zip tie that up out of the way and you won't leak petrol everywhere and you won't damage your needle. So this card here is fitted with quick connects, so it's just a matter of pushing the across and pulling off, and then it's got a check valve here and then the same on the top. Now the water will still be in the engine, which we can drain out on the bench. So you got to remember to do that before you start taking your cylinder off. Otherwise you're going to fill your crankcase up with all the water. So very important point, don't forget that one. So we have to remove the clutch linkage from the gear selector. And that's just this little screw here. Move around a little bit because everything's loose. Sweet. A little bit fiddly because it's in an awkward spot, and we've got a nylock on there so it didn't come loose, and I think that should do it. No, still too tight. So next is the clutch cable. Just got to slacken that off here if we can. The steering wheel's in the way a little bit, it's a little bit awkward. I'll get a ring spanner, that'll make it easier. So with a bit of a smaller spanner, we can just get in here and just loosen that nut off. And use our fingers. Once that's loose, we can put a bit of slack in the cable and disconnect it from the other end. Okay, so we should be able to, oh yeah, just like that, pull the cable back, the slack out of the cable, sorry, and just drop it out of this little holder. That's the clutch actuation arm, and then the cable just pulls out of the engine, and we should be right to lift the motor up off the chassis. Righto, so the last part of the engine removal is just to take the engine mount clamps off, which is these two 8mm in-hex bolts. Just take off the one and then the other at the back. Now you can rebuild these engines at the track and you don't have to do all this. You can just drain the water out and slip the cylinder off. But for us, we're going to be looking at the gearbox because we've got a gear selection issue. So we really need to disassemble pretty much the whole engine. Okay, so that's it. It's just the chain now that's connected. So I'm going to tilt the engine back, pop the chain off, and we should be able to remove the engine. So we'll pop that off there. Hey, ta-da! And that's it, one heavy KZ engine. I'm going to chuck this one on the deck. So there you have it, the KZ build-up project's next installment, the engine rebuilding process. First up, we've removed the engine off the car, and in the next videos we're going to be pulling the engine down, showing you how to rebuild the top end, and also disassembling the bottom end to find our problem, which I'm not sure what it is yet. I won't know until I open it up and find out what's gone wrong. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to follow along. Now if you've got any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Power Republic, or go to www.powerrepublic.com.au to grab yourself a t-shirt or a hat. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.